Shiurim Brucha, Parsha's Chayei. Let's talk a bit about the Torah, the Parsha from this week. Several years ago, I mentioned that there was at the time the care chiefs asked the latest technology to be created to rescue the lonely. This goes back a few years. Now we unfortunately see many lonely people because of the lockdowns and the isolation. It's not a Parsha Masa. So in that headline that I saw way back then, the article went on to explain that for lonely older people, having someone to talk to and perhaps help around the house is a lifeline. Even that someone is a computer. So this discussion was that hopefully in the near future, and I understand more of this is coming online now, that the older citizens will be able to sit at home talking and listening to a box. And it's been programmed to answer whatever they seem to be wanting to talk about. In our day and age, the councils are struggling with cuts, etc., with new costs. So for £89, they figured that's how much these boxes would cost. It would be a lifeline. And it would be a little bit like a baby monitor. You know, it's sitting in the house, only it would have the ability to call up the local food center to get food or call for help, chas v'sholem. They even had a discussion of making the box able to tell jokes and perhaps some light banter about the football or whatever it is. Sounds brilliant. A perfect answer to all the lonely souls left living alone, especially in the world of Corona. Hopefully they're talking now about a vaccine. Wie nicht der Eibische soll helfen, soll schön marachem sein auf uns alle. So, however, many blame just this technology for exasperating the separation of society. Personal contact with other people, right, is deemed vital for each of us, and even more so for the elderly. Obviously, these listening and talking devices are certainly worthwhile in certain cases, definitely. They can enable those who are ill or fragile to have some input in the outside world. My only fear is that this will lead to even more disenfranchisement. We already saw what happened with the care homes, and people are like warehoused and no one knows what's going on. People, today we have been blessed with years. Much more than even my father's time and my grandparents, definitely. And with that comes challenges. And one of the most challenging things for the elderly is staying vibrant, being lebendig. In the year that I was born, the average life expectancy of a male was 63.6 years. Baruch Hashem, we're about 82 years of age and climbing. Truth be said, with today's nutritional knowledge and the medical advances, we are blessed with a substantial number of Yidden in their 90s. Do you take a look at them? Baruch Hashem, the question we must ask ourselves is, what are we doing? What are we doing with these extra years that Hashem has granted us? I'm part of the extra years category, and I constantly challenge myself with this question. Parshas Chayei, We see, Torah tells us, Abraham was old, and Hashem had blessed Abraham with everything, bakol. Comes along the Tiferes Shmiel of Alexander Rebbe, and he touches upon the Medrash that declares that there is aging with no days, and then there are days with no aging. What does this imply? That there are days that are lived never with no Torah, no chesed, days that are stale and lost in a vapor of emptiness, just killing time. Such days do not have any true blessing. Then, of course, there are those days that are filled with the light of chesed and freshness, and with Torah, with Gemil's chesed. There's always something you could be doing. Learning or listening to shiurim or going out and saying hello to somebody else. Epis. Right? And these wondrous days leave one fresh and young despite what the calendar may say. This was the blessing of Avraham Avinu. His days were melding of longevity and acts of living Yiddishkeit. We are blessed with added days, and our challenge is to fill them with freshness in our Torah, in our avodah, in our family life, with the kinder, with the einiglach, whatever it may be. That's why we're here. This is our tikkun. It's not only about shuffling along to a shiur or sleeping through it. It's about becoming totally enthralled in newness of whatever, learning or hearing or sharing with your children or with somebody, with a perfect stranger. Say good morning, hello, talk to me. Let us connect. Davening should ring with a vitality. Now, Nebuch, with the closing, and it's not always easy. We can daven in the Heim if we have to, but with a frischkeit. This is how we have to do it. And this will bring a spring to your step. Your body does get weak. Listen, I just got out of the hospital. I know what goes on. We may not be able to get up without giving a krechs. No matter. Doesn't matter. We are here and being called upon to bring a tikkun in every single day that we are blessed with. Moping about just takes you down, schleps you into. So the Tiferes Shmiel, he adds a brilliant chiddush to all this. He said there's a machloikis as to when Avram became aware of the totality of Kaviyuchel the Eibishter and his baalus over the whole world. One Mandi Omer says he was all of 3 years old when he became, this awareness woke up in his heart. Another Mandi Omer says he was 48. He had a progression, but at 48, that's when the whole thing came together. Says the Heilige Alexander Rebbe. Actually, both are correct. It is possible that Abraham was 48 years old, but his outlook, his chachas, his frischkeit was always that of a child, of a youngster, that learns everything that with an open awareness and a freshness. I've seen this. I have this here. People come with their little children to get haircuts at 3 years of age. And some of them are so kudish, they can eat them up. They ask, who the picture on the wall? Who's that Rebbe? Who's this? That's Avram Avinu. Even in his old age, he was fresh. That's what the pshat in the Gemara is. Torah and Chesed was always fresh to Avram. No, it wasn't a matter of biological age. I often speak to people, turn to a certain age, going to retire. What are you going to do with your retirement? Ich weiß. Get more stooped. What are you going to do? There's so much need for chesed in this place. You could find something, I'm telling you. Tomcha Shabbos, Schaffen Geld, something to do to just keep you alive with people. So we made for the Rebbits and for the women, Chayei's network. My daughter's busy a whole day. People are doing wonderful things for each other, and just talking and reaching out, and making phone calls. What's wrong? Anyone could do that, right? So I don't know about this listening device. That may or may not sit in my living room. I doubt it. Awaiting my instructions and offering me a stale joke. What I do know and want to share with all those who are stepping ever closer to these extra gebenchte Juren is that we should use them with a Lebendigkeit. It will not be easy. We're all going to be prone. We are prone to ill health and to difficulties and challenges. In these days of rapid cultural uproar, we can offer the young an example of being young despite the years, and share our ahava, our love for what we have witnessed with the future generations. It is nicht geplant. Huh? The Irish helfen. We should all have gitte Juren, gesinnte Juren, and share each other's simchas, and help each other, and reach out to each other. And mit dem, der Irish, der schickt in the Mashiach, beim Harav Rubin Shlita, Amen.